Hi and welcome to What Circuit. I'm David, Charles doing the filming today, and today we're up at Lancashire Cricket Club and we're at the Motiv8 Forums once again, talk to some really interesting companies. Iris, who actually runs it, is going to tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, thank you, David. We run technical forums for engineers around the UK, here in Manchester today, at Emirates The Point, and also in Cambridge and in Oxford. They're free events for engineers, design, technical engineers, electronics engineers to attend.
So we're talking to Anne from Linear Technology, who's going to talk us through some of their wireless sensor network technologies.
Thank you, David. So I'm from Linear Technology. We're here today at the Motiv8 event in Manchester to promote our wireless technology, Dust, which is a mesh network, a self-healing mesh network. We have a banner here explaining the product line. It works at 2.4 gigahertz, and its main advantages on the market are extremely low power and guaranteed point-to-point, getting your data from point to point. The data rate is very low, but they are aimed at primarily for long life locations where your product maybe can't have the battery changed very often, and the battery life can be extended by our energy harvesting products. This is one of the modes, just to give you an example of the sort of size of solution. So very low, very small product. We sell it in as a chip, so you can put it into your own designs, or as carriers, one that can have its own external aerial, or one that has one built in. So it's very quick to get a solution out in the field to test your idea. We have a lot of success in landfill, monitoring the air quality in landfills. But also in mining solutions. Anywhere where there is a lot of RF blockers, the distance internally in a building is about 100 metres, externally outside is about 300 metres. The idea is you scatter them around the field, particles of dust, hence the name, and then they all communicate back to a manager who then comes out into your PC. So we're very into the very popular at the moment Internet of Things, so each one of these modes, these dust modules can be addressed via the internet, so Internet of Things, if you want to connect very easily and quickly, then the Dust is the product for you.
So presumably using the mesh network means you can get really good range over these kind of things,
yes,
compared to some of the other ones, which you can do the multi-hop technologies.
So yes, exactly, yes. You can do multi-hops up to 8 deep. We don't recommend you go much more than 8 deep. So obviously 300 metres apart, over 8 deep, you can get quite a long distance. And then if there's any RF blocker here, or if a particular frequency is blocked, then the remote can find a different way around back to the manager. So hence that's how we achieve the data integrity.
And that kind of size, you can even just drop in one to be used as a repeater specifically if you need to.
Absolutely, perfect. You've got it exactly.
Excellent. So you say it comes in a few different packaging types. You either buy just raw chip, integrate it yourself, but the other ones, presumably they're actually certified, pre-EMC.
Correct. Yes. Right. We have all the certifications that we can give you for various areas. I think we've got a few still pending, but certainly worldwide we have the various certificates you need. And so the idea is extremely low power and data integrity, data integrity.
So what sort of stuff, does your chip just handle the wireless side and then it talks to an external processor? Is that the way it's set up?
So it's an all-in-one solution, so you don't have to worry about the fact the data getting from A to B. The technology we use is time synchronisation, so each mote obviously knows the time, it knows its slot to go up, talk to its neighbour, then go back down again. The longest it can be off is 30 seconds, or else any longer than that and it loses its time synchronisation. 30 seconds, it gives it the low power, the fact it's off for that length of time. Obviously it has to be on for longer if you want more data to flow through your network, then the power will go up, the power requirement will go up, the battery might not last quite as long.
So you can actually use quite a low power oscillator then, because it's resynchronising every 30 seconds,
yes,
your drift
exactly,
isn't an issue.
Exactly. But again, that's internal to the chip, so you don't need to worry about that. And also, if you sort of take one away within the 30 seconds, there's a sort of heartbeat goes around the network, even if packets aren't being transferred. We know that the network's still working, even if you're not transferring data over that network. So if you've not heard from a moat for a while, it doesn't mean it's dead, because we're checking that the mesh is still up and running and everybody's talking to one another.
Excellent. I see on the diagram there, so you've got lots of moats and then you've got a manager. So is manager, that's a different IC, or is that?
Correct, yeah. But in appearance, the manager is a very similar beast. It does come in the carrier still and a chip, so it's very similar. It's just the software on board that is different, and obviously it's connected to the world out the back through an Ethernet port.
Right, so then just as you got there, you connect it to your PC, whatever you've got monitoring there.
Yeah, we have a demo kit that provides you with, I think it's 5 moats and 1 manager, so you can get up and running very quickly. We have had customers take the moats all over their factories to try and break the mesh. One particular customer put 1 moat in a fridge right at the opposite side of the factory, and we still managed to pick it up, although there was an alert on the software saying this link's a little bit dodgy, but it still was working the data back to base. So we have had customers try to break the system by using our demo kit, but it gets you up and running very quickly. It comes in 2 flavours: wireless HART, which is a well-known industrial standard, and IP, which is sort of not as controlled as wireless HART, so its capabilities are more flexible. But if you're in an industry that needs wireless HART, then we have a version that supports that and is licensed for that.
Excellent. So you're very much industrial focus with some of these.
Yeah, very much so. Linear Tech as a company, our main areas are we're very strong in the industrial base and in automotive, and this sort of product fits ideally into that. We've had quite really interesting uses for the product, which always fascinates me, what people are using it for: crop dusting and I say mining and etc. around landfill. So the sort of the uses of it are infinite.
And as particularly doing mining, you've got to look at intrinsically safe devices.
Yeah, always tricky. Obviously, in a mining environment, transmitting wirelessly is always tricky. So it's not in hazardous areas, so we'll be very very careful there. But certainly in RF, where there's a lot of RF blockers, that's the trick now.
So you say you operate on 2.4 gigahertz band. That's quite different to a lot of the other ones are more in the sort of sub-gigahertz ISM bands. Was there a reason for going to 2.4 gigahertz? Or?
It's an open band. It's free. It's the band that everybody should go to. Obviously, it's the distances involved. The transmission distance is good.
And you still manage to get very good transmission distances using that sort of frequency. It's nice.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, there's obviously lower frequencies of that go further, but it's a band that I think is most industries. Isn't Bluetooth, wireless Bluetooth?
Absolutely, yes.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
all those
well-known band. The other advantage to Dust is it frequency hops as well. So if you have a very dense Wi-Fi environment all at 2.4 gig, because it is a very well-used band, it'll frequency hop to find a frequency that it's okay on, so it's not going to interfere with your Wi-Fi or anything like that if you're monitoring a building for air quality or whatever.
Fantastic. Yeah, so you can actually route around interference as well, not just other.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
And you're talking about sort of comes up line up to every 30 seconds, but then you can set that frequency, can you, depending on your application?
You can check that heartbeat if you like. 30 seconds is the most we set the heartbeat at. You can have less than that. If you want to transmit more data, that allows it to get better transfer of data through the network. But yeah, 30 seconds is the maximum you can set it.
Excellent. And let's say you can be up and running really quickly just by one kit that's got the master.
And with the modules as well, you just need a carrier board with a processor. We're actually bringing out, obviously there's a processor within the chip. You can now utilise part of that processor as well, so you wouldn't necessarily need an external processor, which you have done up to this point. So all you need is a bit of signal conditioning on board, whatever you want to gather, and then we'll make sure it gets to where you need it to be.
Fantastic, and that means you can really get the power optimised then, take a nice micro power op amp, bit of signal conditioning, feed it straight in.
All from Linear Tech, of course.
Absolutely.
We lead the field in low power things, and battery management and energy harvesting. So,
many good memories of the LTC 6003, I think it is, the low power op amp. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
So leading those fields.
That's great. Well, thanks for your time. It's really interesting.
Thank you very much for talking to me.